Welcome to Caldwell County Schools Profiles, and I'm Libby Brown, Community Services Director for the Caldwell County Schools, and welcome to the show. This month, February, is Career Technical Education Month, and we're going to be focusing on some of the programs within the Caldwell County school system that have been very successful in teaching students about careers in different areas. They're outside of the math and science and English, but careers that sometimes take them right into the workforce as soon as they leave high school and graduate, and some careers that they can go on and get degrees in those fields and then go into the workforce. Some of those careers, they actually come back and teach in the Caldwell County schools. So we've been very fortunate with CTE and some of the 80 courses offered in career technical education. This segment, we will focus on agriculture. So yes, we do have a very successful and highly renowned agricultural program here in the Caldwell County school system. So with that introduction, I think you can, all three of these individuals will live up to that introduction. So we're going to start with Sara Adams. And Sara, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Sara is an agriculture teacher at West Caldwell High School.
I am.
And this is her third year. Yep. We're going to come back to introductions in just a second, but Lawton Looper, he is a senior.
Yes, ma'am.
At South Caldwell High School, and he is one of our outstanding students that we want to spotlight today in CTE. And Ben Kohnle, I feel like you don't really need an introduction because I think most people interested in this field, they know you, Ben, at South Caldwell High School, and you've been there for 14 years as the ag teacher. So Sara, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So obviously I teach at West, like she said, and I teach agri-science and horticulture at West Caldwell. But about myself, I actually have a twin that does the same thing in Cabarrus County. Her name's Rachel. But overall, I love being outside with animals, with plants, anything to get you outside or in the woods.
Well, they love you at West. I can say that. You brought some new ideas and depth and freshness to the program, so we're glad you're there.
Kind of rejuvenated what was already there.
And we're going to get to that connection that you have with Mr. Kohnle in just a second. So that's a teaser to stick with us because there is this connection. We're going to connect the dots with all three of these guests today in ag in the Caldwell County schools. So Lawton, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a senior at South Caldwell High School. I grew up on a hog farm in Grace Chapel, so I've been surrounded by ag my whole life. I plan to go to NC State to study agriculture so I can come home and sort of bring a fresh new start to our farm, so that's my plan.
Well, that's wonderful. That is great. We really admire your interest in keeping the family farm. And I read a statistic the other day, I don't know if this is true, I think it may be that the #1 source of income from North Carolina is agriculture.
Yeah.
So you're helping North Carolina stay in the black. So we appreciate that. And Mr. Kohnle, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Ben Kohnle, and I'm from Dudley Shoals. Went all the way through Caldwell County schools and graduated from South Caldwell High School as an ag student. Went on to North Carolina State, and I actually started teaching at South Caldwell 5 days before I graduated from NC State. So I've been there ever since.
Wow.
So
I did not know that you were a South Caldwell graduate. I love this coming home part. And that really is the silver lining to this segment. So before we get into talking about what you're doing in ag, Sara, drum roll, was a student of Mr. Kohnle's.
Yep.
Yes.
So
did Ben influence you?
100%.
100%.
Yep. And how
I love it.
Really got involved. It actually connections back to him. He has an older sister named Taryn, and she actually told her younger sister Reese, which is my age, to take agri-science. So word of mouth, I got involved with agri-science, which is the first course that you get into for the agriculture program. And so I really, really enjoyed it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. You get to go outside. You know, it's way different than any other class that I ever taken. And then there was the opportunity to get involved with the FFA, and that's where I really grew.
And that's Future Farmers of America.
Yes.
Is that
Technically.
is that still it, or is that it's
Take
not
this
it?
one, Kohnle.
It's not. Is it okay? What is it now?
Well, agriculture is about a whole lot more than farming nowadays.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they dropped that name, and we are the National FFA organization, and FFA actually doesn't stand for anything now. It's just how we're recognized.
Okay, so it just
Yeah.
kind of engulfs
Yeah.
all that you're teaching now in agriculture.
Yes,
the
because it's so
horticulture,
diverse. Yep.
agri-science, the agronomy,
Yep.
I mean, it could
all
be
of that falls
natural
under.
resources, biotech, anything
Yeah,
involved in
biotechnology is
agriculture
big.
at all. So plants and animals, and the production of plants and animals is agriculture, and that's huge, and that's a lot more than just
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
farming.
Even
So
marketing and
Yeah.
process
Oh
and all
yeah.
that.
So
yeah.
I just dated myself. Okay.
It's all good.
that was
FFA.
Back in 1988,
Yeah.
officially
Yeah.
the name change. But and going along with statistics, really about 2% of the United States is actually involved in farming, so that's really small.
Yeah.
So that's
It
why
is.
we changed
It is. So it really is a diminishing field that's critical to our
Hard work.
economy. So that's why we applaud you and that we offer it to our students.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, if you have 80 courses in career technical education and you have the opportunity to explore your interest in high school, just like Sara, who had a friend, your sister,
Yeah, it's
who was
crazy.
taking the agri-science course and said, hey, why don't you take this, and fell in love with it. And now she's an agriculture teacher.
Yes.
So that's how students develop their careers. And it starts as early as high school and actually back into middle school. So Lawton also has a connection because you have 3 older sisters
Yeah, 3 older sisters.
who are all Spartans. They're
Yeah,
all South
they
Caldwell
all
graduates.
graduated. Yep.
And they also went through the program at
Yeah.
South Caldwell.
All 3 of them went through every class, except for maybe the advanced ag,
I took the
because
advanced
it was harder then to get into as a freshman than it was now. But I was lucky to get into it as a freshman, so I've been able to take every class that is offered. So
So you started as a freshman.
Yeah.
You knew you had a focus already.
oh yeah,
And your sisters have gone to NC State,
Yep.
which is still a huge ag school.
yeah,
So if you're interested in agriculture, that's really the place to go after high school.
Yep.
yeah.
in-state.
And
At
I'm
least
not
it's-
even a state graduate, but I can say that in all honesty. So I've always encouraged students, go where your major is. Go where it gets most attention, where job placement and the credentials.
Yeah.
So one is one is working in ag,
Yes.
who graduated. One is still at state.
Yep.
And the other one graduated, but she kind of veered off the path,
Yeah.
didn't she?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll allow that.
Yeah.
But you want to go to state.
Yes.
Have you been accepted?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And that's hard to do.
It is hard to
Yeah.
do.
State's
Very
a
hard to
great
do.
college.
You have to have the scores. You have to have the SAT score and the courses. So congratulations. Do you already
you.
get accepted into a particular program at state?
Yes. I guess you would
Is it
say
Cal's still?
the College of Agriculture and Life
Okay.
Sciences.
Okay.
So I've been accepted into that under agricultural science major. So, and I'll get to go with that. That's sort of like that's like a broad.
It is. It's like,
Yeah.
it's the college of
yeah.
agriculture and life
Right,
sciences,
right.
so it'll get
So
more.
And then as you go along, you may narrow your field.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Once you're in the college. So congratulations.
Thank you.
That's tough to
It
do.
is.
Very tough. So Ben, that's not your first student who's gone into agriculture after leaving high school. You've groomed several
Yeah, probably.
of teachers now, or who
Yeah.
want to teach, and
I've got
besides Sara.
2 former students that are teaching. Got a couple more that are getting ready to graduate from state that say that they're going to teach if we can find them a job, which I'm sure that'll happen. There's a shortage of ag teachers. I've probably had 20 students go to NC State for something agricultural, so that we've got the 4-year degree program students working, and countless students who went the technical route
Yep.
and either on their own landscape business or on their own farm or something agricultural. And of course, others, even if they didn't go into an agricultural career, they've learned something that they can use around their house as a passion, a hobby, grow a garden, raise animals. So
Yeah. Well, you know, we hear all the time how important the visual arts are to have in the schools. You know, the chorus, the band program, art class, and all of that is an integral part of educating a child. How important do you think, though, it is to have these choices that are kind of outside the mainstream curriculum for students to explore careers?
I'll answer this first. I think our kids, especially CTE or any elective, it's why they come to school. You know, they find something they're interested in. That's usually an elective, and that's what gets them up every morning and coming to school. For me,
I've heard it said many times.
like
That is, you know, some of these children who may not have the you know, they just don't like the math, or they don't like the English course, or
history,
the classical literature, or whatever, but they latch on to something here, and it's a lot of it is social development in those teenage years, and it's something about how can I connect to something that's meaningful to me.
And even in our CTE classes, they start seeing why it's important to have those core classes, why it's important to have literature, history, and math, because I know in agriculture and agri-science, we do history, we do math, y'all gotta read some articles, so then I think it helps them connect a bigger picture, like, oh, this was helpful, it's not a waste of my time to be in these core classes.
So it's not just about planting trees or shrubs or farming, or
it's just being a well-rounded citizen.
Or farm animals. It's about your interweaving all of those basic core curriculum in the course.
For sure.
Yeah, obviously these are a couple star students, and they would have stayed in high school regardless of CTE.
Yes, right.
But there are, as Sarah said, plenty of students that come to school and they find the CTE course for them. And on to the academics. Lawton's obviously very bright and just got accepted in state, but he can tell you that he applies his math, his communication skills to the farm every day. So it's neat to see those academics.
You gotta have that stuff.
You do. It is with farming and just the soil and everything, all the elements that's needed to get the crop that you need, the yield that you want. It's very mathematical, and science is in there. So, so you've had something to celebrate those. There's lots of success in CTE ag courses that we have. One that gave you some attention lately was you took an agronomy team to state. Was that the first time they had the competition, or the first time
They've had the competition for years. This was our first time participating.
So you took 4 young men, and you won.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Was that surprising, or was it just easy? It was like, why haven't we done this before?
Well, I don't know. It started out as, it was an idea, you know, let's see what we can do. And us 4 boys just, you know, we put our head down and we were like, we want to go, we want to win, so let's do it. And we got together, we did the practicing, we did the work, and we just tried to give ourselves a shot. But we didn't know we were going to win, not one bit. And a lot of, like, the paper got our picture when we found out.
Yeah,
you know.
It's perfect.
We had no clue what we had in store for us, but we did it. So.
Well, you did. You took the title,
Yeah.
the state title, and then you went to the national competition, and that was in,
That was in October.
It was where was that? That was
Was it Indianapolis?
Indianapolis, yes. And came home with more medals to show for your presence at the national level.
Yeah.
You had the gold medal.
Yeah, we finished 19th in the country, which was for being our first time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
First time.
And
it's like the Cinderella team here. First time. You take the state championship, you go to nationals, you bring back, I think the team overall won silver. Silver, and then you won the gold, and you get the individual awards as well, and a couple of your team members won silver.
Yeah, silver, and we had a bronze.
And just incredible.
Yeah.
What a representation
No, here in
our-
like South Caldwell or
I know,
Caldwell up on
Caldwell.
stage, it was awesome. Just as a county.
It does. Ben, how do you feel agriculture overall fits into North Carolina? Because it seems like it's still very prominent, that it still has a place.
Well, probably one of my first lessons with my young agri-science students is, and they'll remember it, and Sarah probably uses this as a
Yep.
teacher now. I always say, naked and hungry, where would you be without agriculture?
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you think about
Period,
it, what
point
did
blank.
you eat this morning? What are you wearing right now as clothes?
Yes.
Everything. Agriculture is
It
essential.
does.
Our smartphones are not. And if they're, with some kind of collapse, agriculture would be the most important thing that we have. So
And I love that first lesson, and you probably do that too, Sarah, because some kids, you've read the stories and you hear the experience. Well, where did this tomato come from?
Oh, that's the first. Where's
And
y'all's
where
food
did
come
this
from?
banana come from? And some of the elementary, grocery store.
Yep.
The cupboard,
Yeah, but before
refrigerator, but they're so far removed from the source of growing that we need to be reminded that that's critical for our country.
That's why I love teaching agriculture and agri-science and horticulture, because we get to talk about it's FFA is part of our course, and I love the FFA because it's about tradition. It's like we're America because we're awesome. Our backbone's agriculture. If you look at development of countries, they're great because they have a development in
Yeah.
agriculture. So it's literally the source of life. I mean,
It
that's
is.
it.
It
Period.
is.
Source of life. So
So I'm sure that that's very rewarding for both
Yeah.
of you as teachers
it's awesome. I
to
mean,
teach this course. Do you ever have any regrets about going into teaching? I know it's a hard road to hoe. No pun intended, but sometimes it's a hard road to hoe to be a teacher.
it is. It is, and I'll take.
And you're the new teacher.
Yeah.
You're the veteran teacher. So I'm sure you both have different perspectives.
I'm glad I have Kohnle in my corner for questions, but they tell you, this is my third year going into teaching, and they tell you give it 3 years. And I'm like, why are they, as in my college professors, I'm like, why are they telling me to give me 3 years? Then I know why, because it's kind of rough getting started, but just looking at this, what Kohnle's sowed, the seed he sowed, it's rewarding. And kids, they need to know this. They got to know this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're a good teacher. You don't let any grass grow under your feet. I've already
No.
heard that.
I would say that obviously we all have our tough days, and teaching can be a tough profession. But the amount of influence that we're able to have on a group of students is about as rewarding as I could imagine a career being. We talk about love of the land and animals and being able to reap
Right.
those things, and that's a great aspect of it too. And Lawton will get true satisfaction out of that. It's great for me to be able to see students develop that as a
Yeah.
passion as well and go into that. It's great for somebody to be so influenced that they want to do the same thing that
Yeah.
I'm doing. It's a very rewarding career.
Well, and you can tell you have a heart for it.
Okay,
You
you
really
have
need
to.
you need to have a heart for it.
You have to,
You
yeah.
do.
Absolutely.
For teaching. So we're going to end on a real positive note here, and it's both of you have greenhouses. I know you've revamped yours and
Yes.
you've written grants, and
It's been a lot. It's been a
yes,
lot,
so
but it's
you've
worth it.
really brought it to
Yeah.
like a really effective,
Yeah.
functioning level.
Brought it back to life.
Brought
So-
it back to life, so to speak. Do the kids enjoy that, being outside in the greenhouse?
It's their favorite part, for sure.
Yeah.
I love it because I get free labor for my weeding. So they'll get under the tables and weed eat. Hey, he did the same thing. And I loved it. So
You
I'm
learn
like,
from
I
the
know.
best.
Yeah.
There's a real students love working in the greenhouse. It's a great hands-on opportunity,
Yeah.
and that's what we're about: is hands-on learning, applying those skills, and probably
Yes, you are.
there's an amazing payoff when students see that the community wants what they produced and that there's value in that. So when we do our plant sales and the community shows up in droves, that's a real.
Well,
it's great.
I show up.
Yeah.
And I'm there when we're all oohing and eyeing and, ooh, look
Yep.
at that. Oh. And, yeah. You've gotten my pocketbook to open up. So
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all for a good cause.
So when is your plant sale?
The week after spring break, which I think is the last week of April, I believe the 26th is when we're starting.
Okay, and yours is?
Mine's the second week of May, so
Okay,
close together,
so
kinda.
you've heard it. We have two excellent programs here, the Ag programs, and I think the proceeds go back into your program.
Absolutely.
So if you're interested in landscaping and in beautifying your home this spring, then you have vegetable and just flowers.
and I have herbs this time.
Vegetables,
Flowers,
flowers,
hanging baskets.
hanging baskets. Go to South Caldwell High School campus or West
Yes.
Caldwell High School campus at the end of April. And don't wait too long because it pretty much clears
Yeah.
out.
Definitely.
Yes, because the employees get the word and we,
Yep. That's right.
we start knocking at the door when you're going to open up. So thank you so much for what you do in career technical education and bringing these students to a level that they may not have experienced had we not had these opportunities for them in high school. So, and you're going to stick around with us, Lawton, for a few more minutes and talk with one of your teammates.
Yeah.
For just a few minutes. But Sara Adams, Ag
Yes.
teacher at West Caldwell High School, thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
And we're glad you're here for 3 years.
Yes.
You're going
And
over
more.
that hump.
We're getting it.
Yes.
West Caldwell's
That,
the
lear-
weekend name.
that learning curve is starting to diminish, so
Yep.
thank you for being here. And Mr. Ben Kohnle at South Caldwell High School, the Ag teacher at South Caldwell High School, thank you for just building an incredible program here in Caldwell County. And we're reaping the benefits of what you are sowing right here in Caldwell County. So
Appreciate
thank you.
that.
And stay tuned. We're going to be right back with one of Lawton's teammates on the National Agronomy. National Agronomy. I was mixing science and landscaping and all this. But National Agronomy team. Please stay tuned. Thank you. Welcome back to Caldwell County Schools Profiles. Again, I'm Libby Brown, Community Services Director for the Caldwell County School System, and February is Career Technical Education Month. So we are going to focus on some of our outstanding CTE students and teachers and programs that we are extremely proud of in the Caldwell County Schools. And Lawton Looper was on our first segment, and I have told him stay seated because I wanted him to join his teammate Corey Reed, senior at South Caldwell High School and friend. And Corey, you probably started out in CTE as early as Lawton did. Did you start taking CTE courses freshman year,
I tried
sophomore year?
sophomore year,
Sophomore year. So you don't have to enter in your freshman year to be
No,
successful, to
no.
go through one of the pathways. No, you can enter in at your sophomore year
Yeah.
and still, you've probably taken quite a few courses in ag.
Absolutely.
So how many courses have you both taken in the ag pathway?
I've taken 4.
You've taken 4
I've taken 3.
and you've taken 3. What are the courses? Do you remember?
First, we start off with
Agri-science.
Agri-science
Because I remember them
applications.
saying that. Yeah,
Yeah.
agri-science.
And then you move to horticulture 1, and then you go to horticulture 2. And then, like, he only took 3. So I was eligible to take advanced agri-science.
Right.
So I took that, but you went a different route.
Yeah, I
With
had
it.
agri-science, horticulture 1, but then the way my schedule worked out, I wasn't able to get horticulture 2, but I wound up taking a CTE internship, which was basically like advanced ag studies.
So are you also going to
Yes, ma'am.
NC State?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
thought so. A proud wolf pack on his way to
Yeah.
NC State in the
That's
fall.
right.
So the two of you, are you also accepted in the College of Agriculture at State?
Agriculture and College of Natural Resources, yes.
Okay, so it's the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources. I like that. So are you two rooming together?
We're going to try.
You're going to try.
yeah.
I thought that. I kind of knew the
Yeah.
answer to that. That's why I asked that. So Corey, I know Lawton has told us a little bit about himself. Tell a little bit about yourself.
I'm from Grace Chapel, that's the Great Flies, about a mile and a half away
Yeah.
from him. My
So
family.
you guys went to elementary,
Oh, yeah.
middle,
Oh, yeah. Yep,
high school
yep.
together.
Yep. My family has a beef cattle farm and a nursery, so I've been around agriculture for as long as I can remember.
Now, Lawton said earlier he wanted to come back to Caldwell County after he finishes his studies at NC State. Is that something you think you might do, is come back home after you graduate from college, or do you want to venture out and somewhere else, maybe in eastern North Carolina, and have your own farm? Or
I think it's a pretty good possibility of me coming back.
you coming back
I
home?
kinda
So
like it around here.
we'd be proud to have
Yeah.
both of you as citizens here in Caldwell County. Why CTE? I know that you both grew up on farms, but you also have a choice to try something new and different. But what is it that you like about agriculture? What is it?
I just love
Is it just like
being out.
second nature to
Yeah,
you?
pretty much.
Or
I love
you
messing
just
with.
feel comfortable doing
Oh,
it?
yeah. For me, it was, it's second nature. It's like it's what I do when I'm not doing anything else. Like if I'm not at school, I'm doing something outside or doing something agriculturally related anyways. So for me, it was just like an opportunity to be able to do it all the time, be able to do it in school and out of school and learn, more things and really just be exposed to
Yeah.
a different. So I grew up animals, so I didn't really, learn a lot about the plants, and then Kohnle.
And the gardening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kohnle taught us a lot about horticulture and the gardening side and plant life.
I can tell you both respect him a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Corey?
Just basically the same thing. It's just always been there and always been something I've enjoyed. Animals, plants, anything, just outside.
Yeah.
The love of nature.
Well, we're gonna be singing your praises when we're gonna be growing our food and keeping us afloat one day as you get older. And you're already doing that really by contributing at home. CTE, did you ever think CTE, as you were a freshman and sophomore and you were signing up for these classes, did you ever think that would put you in the spotlight?
Not like this, no.
And you definitely have been in the spotlight lately because you're both part of that national and state championship team. And agronomy, I mean, it's a word we don't use every day. I stumbled all over it.
Yeah.
Closing up. So what is agronomy?
The technical definition is the study of plant and soil sciences.
Yep.
Soil sciences.
So
it's a very intricate and detailed field.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just, I think some people think, oh, I can just start a farm and
it's everything
well,
to
you
do.
can,
It
but
covers a lot.
It may
It's huge.
fold up in about 2 years. It's a very science-based study and math. We were talking about the incorporation of math with agriculture. So I can't wait for you two to come back. And I think your sister's being interviewed about being part of the program here in Caldwell County Schools. What are you looking forward to as you take your next step into the study of agriculture? Because you're both bright students. You're gold medalists, silver medalists, silver team medalists, working together, understanding teamwork, having the experience at home already, having that foundation of learning. Where do you see yourself in 4 years as you graduate from state? What would you like to really latch onto at state? Any thoughts about that, or are you just thinking graduation?
Well, I'm going into agricultural science, but that major splits off into two things. Like you can pick what you want to study deeper. So I'm going into that doing agricultural business management and animal science. So I hope to come back in 4 years and start working the family farm and having more knowledge about the business side of it, because that's where you make your money, that's where you make your living.
Absolutely.
And so the business side is a big aspect that I want to focus on and have more knowledge about. And then animal science, just being able to have a deeper knowledge of what I'm doing and how to do it better. So
Well, that makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
Because it's a business, so
Yeah.
you need revenue.
Yeah.
And we know that the farms in America have been decreasing
Yeah.
because of funding sources, and they're just not making the revenue that they've seen before. So with the competition and
Yeah. It's
global competition and all
It's
the many
harder.
factors that go into play. So thank you. I want to thank you both
Thank you.
for
Thank
going
you.
into farm. What about you, Corey, as we close down this segment?
I'm planning on going into kind of the same general direction with animal science, learn more about the cows that we have and how
Yeah.
to better use them for anything, really. And then also the horticultural side, the paper, like trees, that's the other part that I'm going into, how to better use and manage all that.
Very good. Well,
So,
there again, we're proud of both of you. Congratulations on being the North Carolina state champions for the agronomy team and for winning 19th in the nation
Yeah.
at the national competition and the gold and silver medalists. So congratulations and best of
Thank
luck
you.
to both of you
Thank
as you
you.
go on to state.
Thank
So
you.
thank you.
stay tuned because we're going to end this program with our segment on firefighters. Yes, we are training students to become firefighters and getting ready for the job right here in the Caldwell County Schools. Stay tuned. Thank you. Welcome back to the Caldwell County Schools Profiles, and we are going to conclude this segment of this show with a fantastic program at Hibriten High School. It is one that is admired across the state of North Carolina. We're proud to have a firefighter academy in the Caldwell County Schools. It is housed at Hibriten High School, and we have 2 students, one currently enrolled in the program, a graduate of the program, and Chief Sam Smith with us. So welcome. How's it feel to be back?
Good, great.
Good, good. So when did you graduate, Trevor?
I graduated in 2014.
2014, so it's been a little while. This is Trevor White. Trevor White is a graduate of the Hibriten High School and a graduate of the firefighter program. You were probably one of the first students.
He was in the first class.
That's
He
a-
graduated before he got all 3 semesters in because of the way it came into the school system.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking 2014, you were one of those first students that said, I'm going to take advantage of this.
Yes.
So we're going to come back to introductions. So we have Kendall Bennett, and Kendall is a senior, currently enrolled in the firefighter program at Hibriten High School. Welcome to the show, Kendall. And of course we have Chief Sam Smith. And Sam, if you know anything about firefighting in Caldwell County, then you know Sam Smith. I have to say it, Sam. You are known throughout the county. We were fortunate to get you in the school system after you retired. So now his second job and love, I can
I
say,
love it.
because I can tell, it shows,
I love
is teaching students about firefighting and other areas we'll go into at Hibriten High School. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Trevor, tell us a little bit about yourself. Trevor White.
Yeah, my name's Trevor White. Let's see, I've born and raised in Caldwell County. Never really wanted to move away at all. Whenever the fire academy got started at Hibriten, I really wanted to take it, and because my great-grandfather, my grandfather, and my father were all career firemen. So really wanted to take it. I took it. I loved it. I actually enjoyed more of the medical aspect of it, though. So that's what prompted me to go take my EMT and then go on to take my paramedic. So that's where I'm at now.
So this is not your casual dress.
Yeah. No.
This is your dress uniform.
Yes, it is.
Really?
Yeah,
So
it
you're
is.
a paramedic
Mm-hmm.
for Caldwell County Emergency Services.
I am.
So thank you.
Very
We're
well.
going to get to how you got to this point in life. And Kendall, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Like you said, I'm a senior at South Caldwell High School, and I'm enrolled at the Fire Academy. I joined the Fire Academy because my brother took it with Sam, and then my dad is actually chief at Granite Falls Fire Department. And I joined the Granite Falls Fire Department Explorers about 2 or 3 years ago, and that's when my love for it just started.
Yeah, you were following in Dad's footsteps.
Yeah.
And both in fourth generation.
Yeah,
Fourth
pretty much.
generation. That's incredible. And you're second generation. Because I don't know if Chief Bennett's anybody above him. Okay, so you're carrying on this tradition of firefighting. Congrats. Did you say South Caldwell?
Yeah.
I love that. And we're going to get back to that about the flexibility we offer our students
Yes.
about attending classes. So Chief Smith,
How you doing?
I could probably tell your biography, but I'm going to let you. Chief Smith and I worked together closely when
Yes,
he
we
was
did.
at the fire department, and now we work together closely as in the school system. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well,
How many years as a firefighter?
almost 40. Wow. Yeah, I'm old. But
No, it's just like, wow, that's a career. Is that typical for retirees to go 40 years for firefighting?
no, I was 30 years with my career department, which was Lenore, City of Lenore.
Yeah.
I was a volunteer. Prior to that, I still keep my foot in it, my toe in it at Gamewell
Yeah.
where I live. But I told my son Alex, which is a career firefighter, I said, I need to retire. He said, think you can do it? I said, no, it sounds good. But I can't leave. I can't leave yet. That's just
No, we don't want you. Well, you departed from that, but you're still in it with us.
And
that enriches your life, right?
It
In a way
does.
that you're connected for firefighting. But it really is truly a benefit and a blessing for our students because you have that incredible depth and knowledge about firefighting just from experience.
well, I thank you for saying that. I
It's
really do.
true.
I have the passion for it.
Yeah.
Firefighting has been good to my livelihood, but to see these students, either they want to volunteer or career, go out and achieve their dreams, whether they want to wear that patch for a career, if they want to wear it to special function or the volunteer department, they're contributing to their community, and that's what it's all about.
And it is. And they're really public servants.
They are.
We
Doesn't-
really are still public servants.
Exactly.
Of working for a school system and helping students. I like the fact that Trevor is here and that he's a paramedic and he went through your program.
He did.
So how does that interconnect?
Well, everybody has seen the fire trucks on the side of the roads at multiple multiple vehicle accidents and
yes.
things like that. Structure fires, EMS is there. We worked hand in hand. A lot of the EMS guys now are volunteer firefighters. You know, we don't do law enforcement in Caldwell County because you have to be 21 to be a sworn officer. But everything in fire, a lot interconnects with the EMS. So we touch on that a lot in our study. So I will tell the story on Trevor. He came to me one day and he said, Chief, I need to talk to you. I said, okay. He said, I'm thinking about being a paramedic. I said, oh my God. And I said, you're fourth generation. But I said, I'm sure.
Said, I'm not telling your daddy.
No. I said,
tell
I'm
your
sure
daddy.
that your dad and your grandpa will understand because they're in the business and been in the business. And he's a great paramedic. He comes with great reviews. And I'm proud to have him just the year that I had him. And I want him to be a great paramedic, and he is a great paramedic, because I may be one of his patients one of these
Well,
days.
we all could be. We want you to be a great paramedic, Trevor, okay? And Trevor, how did taking this course at Hibriten solidify your interest in being a paramedic? Or did it?
It really solidified my interest in going into public service, basically, because before the course, I really didn't know at all what I was going to go into, and so I actually I started taking this course senior year, and I actually graduated early. So I graduated after the first semester, and I went straight into taking my EMT after that, and then going to out in the to get a job But this course really just solidified that I really wanted to go into public service. I really wasn't sure just yet whether it was going to be fire related or more medical EMS side. It really.
But that the class gave him that environment to really explore.
structure.
And the structure, to explore it.
Yeah.
To explore it, and then you chose to do the paramedic side.
Yep.
And you graduated early. I heard you say you graduated early, which we can do that in the Caldwell County Schools. We provide so much flexibility for high school students now because they're on such different timelines and what they want to do after they leave high school. You said you went right into the job?
Right after I graduated early.
Yes.
So I graduated early in January, started taking my EMT basic here at Caldwell in January.
Right.
That took right around 5 to 6 months, I believe. And in July, I got hired on with
So
Caldwell
in
County
less
EMS.
than a year from high school, you were working full-time?
I was working part-time then, but it was still less than a year though, because I got full-time in January the following year. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
So you really didn't hesitate. You knew
No, not at all.
exactly. I'm
Yeah.
piecing this together because you knew exactly what you wanted to do
Oh, yeah.
the minute you walked out of the high school.
Yeah.
You
Yep,
had a
sure
plan.
did. Yeah, I did. And it
And that
luckily
is
worked out.
incredibly satisfying for people in education. Whether they go to post-secondary, like the two kids earlier, the two young men who are going to go to state, or you go right into a certification that's needed locally here at CCC and TI and go on into the workforce. It makes a mama proud. It really, and I'm talking about parents who are watching. So Kendall, you are at South. Okay, the program's at Hibriten. Explain.
Well, me and another girl from South Caldwell, we commute every morning to go to it. We have it first period, and it's like they said before, it's one of the classes that makes you get up and go to school in the morning. It's 100% worth it.
Wow, we should just stop the show right now. That's a testimonial. That's incredible testimonial because you were listening to the other segment. These are two outstanding students. You can tell. You can tell. And then she said that's what makes her get up in the morning. That's her first period. What we do offer in the Caldwell County Schools with about any course, if you're a junior and senior in high school and you can provide your own transportation to get to what are the courses that are not offered at your school, you can travel to the other high school and take the course. My son actually did that with a math class at West Caldwell. So, it didn't fit into his schedule at his home high school, so you can actually, if you meet the criteria of that course, you can travel. So you have students coming from West?
We've had from West, South, and at one time from the Career Center.
Career Center, yes. Because they can do that, and they can come to the hub, which is at Hibriten High School, and take the course. Has it been all that you thought it might be?
Yeah, and more. I've learned so many things that I never even knew about. Like, even with being in the Explorer program, there are things that you just don't get to, and it's been great.
Well, Chief Smith, you talk about you love teaching the kids. Is it just out of a book? I mean, is it rote teaching where you're standing up there and you're behind a podium and you're dressed in uniform and you do honor guard occasionally, or and you're doing all of these extra details at the school with the students, keeping them involved? But you have some resources over there.
Oh yeah.
that are unique to this program.
Being in the business, as they say, I've met a lot of my colleagues around the state, and I can call them just about any time they'll come up. The North Fire Department's out there a lot because that is our sponsor fire department.
Right.
And they've hired several of our students. Chief Harris
I'm aware, yes.
and Chief Briscoe, his predecessor. But I know they get tired of listening to the same old stories. They get and it's not about the PowerPoint. It's not firefighters just holding a fire hose. It's all the other things that you do, interacting with the public, because you are a public servant. It's opening car doors, putting up smoke alarms, going to kindergartners and Fire Prevention Week, going to senior citizens centers and talking to them. It's a whole range of things that a firefighter does.
It's awareness.
It's
It's
it is
educating the
awareness.
public.
So we
It's
cover a lot of
emergency
that.
response,
Exactly
natural
right.
disasters. There's a whole gamut
There's,
of response that's needed.
If nobody does it, firefighter will. That's about the truth.
Do you ever get a cat out of the tree anymore?
I have done it. Actually, we got a dog out of a tree one time.
You got a dog out
We
of the
got
tree.
a tree. I have
That's a
doc-
story.
I have
That would probably take us
documentation.
another 15 minutes.
He chased the cat up the tree. The cat came down. The dog had to stay. We had to go get it. We have documentation. It's not just a made-up story.
It's not a fish story. Edward.
That's about as far as we're going to go is a dog in the tree.
Well, that one is a unique story. Did that happen here in Caldwell County?
It happened in the city of Lenore.
City of Lenore. Yes, that's tell to tell. You know, with this program, we are just so fortunate to have this. But did you model this program after another program, or is it something that you just said, I'm going to take bits and pieces of some things we've heard about, read about, and we're going to see if we can create this scenario here
Every
in
fire
our
department,
county?
I've been in a lot of, every fire department is sort of like a school system or like your home. Everyone's has its own character. Well, Concord High School was the very first one in North Carolina, and we visited it, and I've seen some good things that I've kept. And then other guys came on that I knew, Hunter Huss and Gastonia. I looked at theirs, and we tailored it for Caldwell County. Because we're hoping these firefighters that we graduate will stay
Will
in Caldwell.
stay
We know
here.
some of them are going to move
Right.
out, but we want to make it feel it fits the neighborhood, you know. So we've picked pieces here and there, you know, like make a good cake, you get the good ingredients. So and then, but you're talking about the resource a minute ago. We have
You
a
have a
multiple.
fire truck.
Yeah, we do.
I don't think we have a fire truck in a bay
Yeah,
at Hibriten High School
yes, we do.
that belongs to
Belongs to
the
the school
fi-
system, but
or the fire academy.
Yes, it
It
does.
belongs to the fire academy.
we do. We're very fortunate on that.
It's
My
not
friends
just
across the
this
county
run-of-the-mill
lines don't-
kind of program.
They're a little, I'll say envious, not jealous, envious of our truck, but we're proud of it. The kids are proud of it. And they about every Friday they're out there wiping it down, getting the dust off of it, which a firefighter does, keeps his truck
Yes,
clean.
yes, we see them out there on a sunny day.
But
I want to go down and just think about this. What if you could, since you're a graduate now, Trevor, if a freshman or rising 8th grader came up to you, I'm sorry, a 8th grader going into 9th grade, a rising freshman came up to you and said, "How is that something I should be looking at?" What would you say to underclassmen who are thinking about it, have had a thought about firefighting or going into to become a paramedic? What would your advice be?
I would personally, and this is like what I did, was to just go in it and take it. Because I mean, if they even have a thought that they might like it, if they might like the fire side, if they might like the EMS side or public service side of things, then they just need to go ahead and go and take it and listen to absolutely everything that Chief Smith will say to the class, because it doesn't matter if it's coming from a book. Whenever you've got somebody with 40 plus years experience talking to you,
Yeah.
it just spills knowledge, even if it's stories that's coming out. But that's what I would mainly tell somebody, was just to listen, eavesdrop on every conversation that you can, because that's what I did coming up into is just listen to absolutely everything, take it all in, and kind of build yourself up from there.
That's good advice. What about you, Kendall? You're there. What would you tell us, your classmates, or since you're the big senior now, and Did you tell us where you're going to school?
I got accepted into Appalachian.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, so you'll be going up the mountain.
Yeah.
And what would you tell your underclassmen? What advice would you give? Because you've had to travel, so it's not been as convenient for you to just go to school and stay in there, but you made the effort to travel to Hibrite. What would you tell your underclassmen?
Even if you have the slightest thought, maybe I want to do that, try it, because the class is hands-on and you'll learn so much, and you'll actually know from getting the experience from the hands-on class if you actually enjoy doing that.
Mm-hmm. Very good point. Try it.
Yeah.
And that's what the classes are about. We've had this in CTE, and it happens all the time. They'll try class, I can think of the biomedical fields that we offer, and one young lady went into one of the hospital rooms and saw some things, so a surgical thing, and immediately said, "This is not what I want to do." But you know what? That's the beauty of it. Don't go to college for 4 years and think that's what you want to do, or go through a certification process and think that's what you do, with actually not exploring those possibilities that are offered in high school for free.
Right. Libby, I would like to add, we have recruiters that come to talk to these students. My good friend from Greensboro, Captain Giles, comes up every semester. Sabrina Stowe's coming up. She's sending 2 firefighters from Winston. Chief Hendren from Asheville Fire Department, he comes down and talks to them. And of course they're trying to recruit.
Yes.
They said they want high school students that have been through this program because they have some basic training. So when they go into their academy, their recruit academy, they are not totally green. They're
not newbies.
And, exactly. And sometimes they can pay them actually a little more than a newbie. But and not just ours, the other academies around the state, these career fire departments are looking for high schoolers that they'll come build their careers, that want to be a public servant. And whether they want to be a volunteer, and I tell them, if you want to be a volunteer, there is nothing more admirable than volunteering your time on a good thing,
Yes.
in
Like
a
Kendall
community
plans to
project.
do.
Yeah.
And I said, but just remember, it doesn't matter where you paid or volunteer, the fire is just as hot. And you're doing it for free.
Right, it's
But
just
if
as
you get
dangerous.
paid for it, that's a little added
It's a
benefit.
risky, it's heroic, to be honest. It is. It's a heroic field that both of you are in, and that Sam has Chief Smith has done for 40 years, and now teaching our students. How does it feel, Chief Smith, and we'll end on this, when you see your students go through the program and then, like Trevor, go and become, he's official now. He's a full-time working official paramedic who knows his job.
It's almost like seeing your own child succeed. When I see these guys get hired, and I've got 2 here at Caldwell Tech in fire science programs, it's just, you wish them the best. I said, my son's 29, he's in a career. Watched him come up. I didn't push him, but I didn't try to dissuade him either. But I'm proud of him. I'm proud of every one of them. And it's almost like talking with my CT across the other side of the door, Eric Stamey, that teaches masonry. Mm-hmm. He loves to see his guys go out after graduation, make their own company, or work for a good company. You see achievements. You're proud for them.
Well, and you see all the effort that you've put into the program, and it's the time behind the scenes, the collaborations that you're doing, the guest speakers that you're bringing in, the ties that you continue to build, that it pays off. Mm-hmm. And it pays off as a win-win.
It is.
Win for the program and win for 2 outstanding students like you two.
And as teachers, that's what we're supposed to do.
That's exactly what we're supposed to do.
CTE is my old vocational teachers years ago. That's what they wanted. They wanted to see us to excel. They wanted to see us see our dreams, what we wanted to do. And to be the instructor or the teacher, you know, that's gratifying for us.
It's extremely gratifying, and it's gratifying for the school system to
Oh,
hear
yes.
stories like you. So thank you, Trevor.
Oh, yeah.
White, congratulations on your career path
Yep.
that
Thanks.
you have successfully started here in Caldwell County and gone through our school system. So thank you. And Kendall, good luck to you at Appalachian State University and
Thank you.
for your pursuits as a volunteer fireman. And are you going to work with your father, your dad?
Probably, because I want to stay local.
Yeah. Well, good. Good. And thank you, Chief Smith,
Thank you.
for
Libby.
bringing this program to the Caldwell County Schools, having that vision to start the Firefighter Academy here in Caldwell County. So, and it's been a wonderful experience for our students and for this community itself. We are grateful for all of our CTE teachers in the Caldwell County Schools. You've heard just a sampling of success stories in career technical education. So if you see a CTE teacher in February, give them a big handshake and say thank you, because we are very proud of all they do each and every day. Thank you.